Welcome to the ultimate guide to IELTS writing task 2. Well, today in this video we can understand step-by-step approach to writing that entire essay for a particular question. Before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance, you can check the information in the description of this video. If you left a WhatsApp link, you can click on the link, send us a message. I'll be there, we will be there to help you, guide you in the right direction. Alright, without further delay, let's try to get right into the video. Let's look at the essay question. It reads something like this. Some people think that government should invest in arts, while others believe that this money should be spent on public services like health and education. Discuss both the views and give your opinion. So when we look at the question, right, discuss both the views and give your opinion. So introduction will definitely be there. And then discuss the first view. Discuss the second view, and then opinion. It's a part of the question. Don't put opinion inside conclusion. Opinion deserves a separate paragraph, and then conclusion. It's gonna be a 5-para structure. So it looks like this: intro, body 1, body 2, opinion, conclusion. This is the first step, and now we will understand how to write intro in a step-by-step guide, and then body 1, body 2, opinion, and conclusion. Here we start. So we follow a method called paraphrasing and outlining for introduction. If you use this approach, within a minute or 2 minutes max, you can actually write the entire introduction. So let me just show you for the same. So what does paraphrasing mean? Let's say you have a word, you write a synonym of it, or you expand it, meaning you don't create your own ideas, own thoughts. So whatever is there, with the help of the pointers, you try to write a synonym, or you try to just paraphrase. This is called paraphrasing technique. So here some people think that government should invest in arts, government should spend money in the arts. Hope you are getting it. So while others believe this money should be spent on, this money should be used towards. So spent on, used towards, like this few of the words we will change. This technique is called paraphrasing. Absolutely works. You don't have to worry too much about the introduction. So it looks something like this. A paraphrased introduction is what the step number 1. There's an ongoing debate about whether government funding should prioritize the arts or essential public services such as healthcare and education. You can write the way you want it. I've already explained to you the technique of paraphrasing. This is also one of the ways you can just start with. There's an ongoing debate about whether government should prioritize funding towards this or over this. That's the first paraphrasing statement. After that, you have to talk about the thesis statement, because the question demands you to take a stand. Discuss both the views and give your opinion. You're going to talk the same. This essay will discuss both the views. So state your opinion clearly. You can either agree with one side, or you can present a balanced argument depending on the question. So here the question says discuss both the views and give your opinion. So we'll write something like this. While both sectors are important, I believe that public services should receive greater financial support due to the direct impact on society's well-being. It's up to you. If you want to give this opinion here itself, you can do it, or you can say this essay will discuss both the views and give my opinion towards the end and keep it a suspense. So both are fine. You can decide how you want it, but use this paraphrased introduction and then thesis statement. These two together in combination will wrap up the introduction. It's a very simple thing. Now we will go to the second paragraph, which is where all the marks are hidden. So when we talk about the second paragraph, meaning most of the marks are hidden in the second and the third paragraph. You need to have a structure. The structure that we had so far, having one introduction, body 1, body 2, opinion, conclusion. This is an external structure. It's like looking at a house from a distance. Oh, the house looks like this. But what if you get inside the house? Where the kitchen should be? What should be the size of a bedroom? Where the living room should be? This is internal structure, meaning inside the paragraph 2, meaning body paragraph 1. Remember, it's a 6-sentence structure, but you can alter it here and there. I'm going to help you out. But remember to start with a main idea. The very first sentence that you write should be main idea, meaning for whatever the question you have, it should reflect the particular answer. Then second and the third line, or second line, should be a supporting idea, meaning expansion to it. And then you have example. Example, write at least in 2 or 3 sentences so that it will reflect a particular scenario. I again repeat, it's main idea, supporting idea, example. This is the structure. This is what you're supposed to write. Main idea in 1 sentence, supporting idea in 1 or 2 sentences, example 2 or 3 sentences. Now let's understand how do we plan for this particular question. So for this particular question, second paragraph, now main idea, introduce the argument that why government should invest in the arts. Why do you think government should invest in the arts? So one reason why people believe that arts should receive government support is that they help preserve a nation's cultural identity and heritage. This is the answer to the question, why government should invest in arts. Why do you think you should invest in arts? Because they help preserve a nation's cultural identity and heritage. This is the outcome of it. This is what I'm going to put in the first line. Now I have to talk something more about it. I have to continue. That is my supporting idea. Explain why this idea is important. Why do you think they preserve a nation's cultural identity and heritage? Why do you think it's so important? You have to talk further. This is a supporting idea. This is very, very instrumental towards your coherence, cohesion score. Remember this. So now emphasize how arts and culture benefits society. Art represents a society's traditions, history and creativity, which can enhance national pride and bring people together. You can put it the way you want it, but I want an expansion to the main idea. So now we finished 2 sentences, main idea and supporting idea. Supporting idea you can write in 1 or 2 sentences, it's up to you. Now here I have shown only 1 sentence. Now after the main idea, supporting idea, now is where you need to talk about example that reflects cultural identity, heritage, bring people together, national pride and lot many stuff. So let's say how to write an example. Give a specific example of how government investment in the arts has benefited a country in terms of identifying itself with respect to a culture, tradition and lot many stuff. So this is how example looks like. For instance, in countries like France and Italy, or any country that you know of, you can write government funding for the preservation of arts and cultural landmarks such as Louvre Museum and Colosseum not only boosts tourism but also strengthens the global image of these nations as cultural leaders. That's what we wrote, cultural identity in the first line. Second line also continuation of this. Now example, you cannot write something else. Example also you have to align with what you wrote right above. Cultural identity. Come to that cultural identity part. Over here strengthens the global image of these nations as cultural leaders. These artistic treasures attract millions of tourists annually, providing a substantial economic benefit through tourism related revenue. This is what example looks like. I've written in probably 2 sentences. You can divide them and write in 3 or 4 sentences as well. But the most important part is after example, a linking sentence. Link this paragraph to the next, hinting at the counter argument. So probably you can say, probably it will have all these benefits in conclusion, but it may not be so, impactful. Something like that, we will leave a trailer to tell the reader that next is what I'm going to talk about to the reader, hinting him that next, this is what I'm going to talk about. So while the arts undoubtedly contribute to national identity and economy, they do not directly impact the fundamental needs of the population. Or this is not mandatory, you can say hence arts undoubtedly contribute to the national identity and economy. Or if you want to give a hint as to what you talk next, because you already have given your opinion in the paragraph 1, that is introduction, that government should invest not in arts but somewhere else. So here it is justified as to why you should hint with a trailer saying they do not directly impact the fundamental needs of the population. Now we're going to talk about something that impact the fundamental needs of the population with the same structure. Main idea, supporting idea, example, and then we go to para 4 about opinion. So now the same question, body paragraph 2, meaning paragraph 3, main idea and supporting idea. Why do you think government should invest in public services, health and education? Now you got to present the argument that government should prioritize public services like healthcare and education. Main idea on the other hand is discuss both the views. On one hand, on the other hand, it is essential that governments focus their financial resources on public services such as healthcare and education. Why? That is your main idea. So far whatever I wrote, the first line of the 3rd paragraph, they are not very much instrumental to get your scores. Next what I write, the main idea is still missing. On the other hand, it is essential that governments focus their financial resources on public. All this are already in the part of the question. You got to bring something new, the answer to the question, which have a more immediate and direct effect on citizens' quality of life. They need to invest on education and hospitality or public services because they have a direct impact on one's quality of life. That is my main idea. Now I'm going to continue talking about it with a supporting idea. You got to explain why this idea is important. Show how public services are fundamental, because that's what we told in the previous line. They have an immediate and direct effect on citizens' quality of life. We're going to continue talking about it. This is called expansion of the ideas. Without adequate healthcare systems, people's health could deteriorate, leading to a weaker workforce, higher mortality rates, and overall societal instability. Now similarly, you're going to talk about education as well. It's simple, isn't it? You gotta say why they enhance someone's quality of life. If you don't have a good hospital services, what is going to happen is what I wrote. Now, if you don't have a good education, what is going to happen? Similarly, without proper education, a country risks falling behind in terms of innovation and economic competitiveness. Lack of job, that, this, you can add all the things. Now, example is what you have to continue talking about. A similar one by giving in this country that happened, in this country this happened. Is it so difficult? It all boils down to have a structure and planning. When you have it in place, things will automatically flow. You just have to adhere to these rules, automatically you end up getting a good score. So now we'll see the example, detailed example to back up this particular point. Whatever we talked in the main idea, whatever we talked in supporting idea, example should reflect that. It's like I want to drink apple juice, I went to market, got apples, came back, and then I saw mango in the refrigerator, I did a mango juice. No. You decided to drink apple juice. You went to market thinking of drinking apple juice. You came home, drink apple juice, make apple juice. Don't switch to mango just because mango is lying out there. Hope you are getting it. Now this example should back up the point, whatever you discussed before. For example, during COVID-19 pandemic, countries with well-funded healthcare systems like Germany, South Korea were able to respond effectively, saving lives and minimizing economic damage. In contrast, nations with underfunded healthcare systems struggle to cope, resulting in widespread loss of life and economic downturn. Well, I could have given an example with respect to both education and health. Probably it would have made my example look so big, so I've just narrowed it down to only healthcare. Is this enough? More than enough. This clearly illustrates the crucial role that public services play in maintaining the stability and prosperity of a society. Now, linking sentence in the end conclusion, we need it. Transition to the next paragraph where we will give your personal opinion. Correct? Now, thus, or in conclusion, while arts have the value, the critical nature of healthcare and education cannot be understated, cannot be denied. Now, all my arguments are hinting towards saying why government should invest in the public services such as health and education. Now, opinion probably can have a different structure, or if you want to have a similar structure, the one that we used, main idea supporting an example, you can completely rely on it and go ahead with it. But opinion, let's try to have a little different structure. State your opinion in the very beginning because it's an opinion paragraph. Again, don't start giving trailers like introduction, example. No, directly go with the opinion. So here you want to state your opinion. If you want to follow a same structure as we did for body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, meaning main idea supporting an example, you can stick to that, absolutely fine. But here I'm going to give you a slightly different structure. Why? Because the one that I'm giving you actually makes sense, because it's an opinion paragraph. Again, you don't have to leave with the main idea. I've already given everything, but you can still stick to that. But if you don't want that, then this new idea, new plan, new structure will help you, detail out the things in a very structured way. State your opinion in the very first line because it's an opinion paragraph. Let's give the opinion at the very beginning. Give your personal opinion on the topic. Be clear and direct about where you stand. In my opinion, while the arts play an important role in nations' cultural and economic fabric, public services should take priority when it comes to government funding. Why? Now I'll back it up with some supporting ideas. Support your opinion. Just a different kind of structure, but you can follow in any way and then start with main idea, supporting an example, and then conclude saying thus government should spend on public services instead of arts. Anything is fine, but I would prefer this. Now provide reasons why you hold this opinion, referring to points from both body paragraphs. Yes, we're going to link it to what we wrote before. Public services are fundamental to the health and future of a nation. Without a strong healthcare system and a well-educated population, no country can survive or thrive, come up in the long term. The benefits of public services are far-reaching and impact every citizen directly, unlike the arts, which mainly provide indirect benefits only to the country, only to uphold the cultural heritage, which may not impact the quality of one's life. Whatever we did before, indirectly we're talking about the same thing. I would recommend you to talk about the same thing, but in few paraphrasing technique words. Don't try something new here because it again takes a lot of time. So this is the structure. If you want to back it up with one more supporting point, you can. Otherwise, you can just end it here. But yes, if you really want additional supporting point, if you still have time, if you need 8, 8.5, you can write an additional statement. Emphasize how neglecting public services could lead to long-term societal issues. Neglecting healthcare and education in favor of arts, we're again backing up with one more idea, one more supporting point, that's it, would result in under-resourced hospitals, very fewer educational opportunities, and ultimately a lower standard of living. So this sums up everything as to why I'm going with, government should spend on public services such as healthcare and education, and not just on the arts. So this sums up, and now you have to conclude. Remember, introduction and conclusion, you don't have to put your Albert Einstein's brain into working. Introduction, whatever was there in the question, we paraphrased. Conclusion, whatever we wrote above body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, opinion, we will just summarize. Summarize the key points. Don't invoke a new thought and write something new, not required. Summarize body paragraphs 1. Summarize the arguments made in both body paragraphs without introducing new information. It's very, very important. In conclusion, while investment in the arts is important for preserving culture, nation's heritage, that's what we wrote, attracting tourism, it is clear that healthcare and education should take precedence. These services have a direct impact on people's lives and ensure the long-term stability and growth of society. If you want, you can write second line, otherwise remove this. Reaffirm your opinion, this is important, and by restating your opinion, emphasizing why public services should be prioritized. Therefore, I believe that government should allocate the majority of their resources to public services which are essential for the well-being and prosperity of their citizens. Whatever I've written is a perfect band 8.5 essay just because they don't give you 9. You can count on the vocabulary, grammar, each and everything that is written in this essay. This will give you a perfect score. I've just rewritten everything in one slide. Just have a look at it. This was the introduction, and then I've highlighted in terms of yellow, green, blue and gray. Yellow is the main idea, green is supporting idea, the blue, or I think it's a slightly different color than blue. The blue talks about the example. It's quite big. Example needs to be big, remember, because it's giving an instance. A situation you cannot explain in just one sentence. It needs its own time, and then in the conclusion or linking it to the next paragraph, represented in the gray. The third paragraph in the yellow is the main idea, green is supporting idea, where I've got two things because we are separately talking about healthcare and we separately talked about the education. And in the blue is example, a hefty one, and then we have conclusion or linking to the next paragraph as gray, and then we came to the body, paragraph 3, that is paragraph 4, opinion. Opinion, yellow is the proper opinion. First evidence is given in the green. The second evidence, if you really want, you can continue giving in blue, and then we have ended it up with gray. And then we have conclusion. In conclusion, while investment is just whatever I have written above, I have summarized it. Additional point, if you really want going into details, is the green. Reaffirming your conclusion is in blue. I hope this video has given you a complete overview, step-by-step guide on writing that band 8 or 8.5 perfect essay. Please make use of this. If you think the video is informative, like, share and subscribe, and leave your valuable comments in the comment section. Fine guys, with this I'll park the video here. Anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance, you can text us into WhatsApp. The link is given in the description of this video. If you want one-to-one feedback, one-to-one mocks for your speaking, reading mocks, strategies, you can count on us. We will do the needful. If not, subscribe to this channel. Kindly click on the subscribe button. This is Nakul, Nakul signing off from Skills IELTS. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks much.